Hey bookish friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rain if you're new here, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back to my little corner of the internet. Today I am going to be preparing for my 24-hour readathon. This is my first ever time doing something like this. I've actually never even woken up and read all day, so I'm really excited for this. I tend to read a lot in the morning and in the evening, but I've never stretched it out to do 12 hours in one day. Speaking of, I am going to be splitting my 24 hours up into a 48-hour period. On day one, I'm gonna read as much as I possibly can, at least 12 hours. I'm hoping to go more than that. And then on day two, I'm gonna be finishing up for a total of 24 hours. I'm a grown adult. I can't be reading for 24 hours straight and staying up. I really value my mental health and my sleep schedule, and this is what works for me. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I don't know how many books I will be able to read in 24 hours. I'm gonna start books from the beginning. My guess is that I'll be able to get through 2.5, maybe 3 books, just depending on the book, but I'm really excited. I will update you along the way. Come along with me for my first ever 24-hour readathon. See you bright and early tomorrow morning. Today's the day, the sun is shining, the tank is clean. The tank is clean, the tank is clean. Does anyone else think of that every time they think today's the day? Okay, hi, good morning. I am gonna hop right into it by reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. This has been on my TBR for a little while. I don't typically read fantasy, and by typically, I mean this is gonna be my first venture into the world of fantasy other than Harry Potter. I'm excited though, so let's just hop right into it. Chapter 8 of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am liking it so far. I am trying to highlight and underline as many things as I think might be relevant in the Kindle as humanly possible. Since I'm not used to reading fantasy, I'm not used to all the world building, which is what has kept me from reading fantasy in the past. So I am really trying to stay on top of everything that I think might be useful information, and it does seem like there's a lot of groundwork being laid out, so I'm trying to remember as much of it as I possibly can. But the writing is really great, and overall I'm having a good time. So far so good. I think I'm gonna go walk on my treadmill desk for a little bit just to get some energy out, get moving, because I've just been hanging out on the couch all morning. Okay, hello. I am at 3 hours and 17 minutes. I took a shower, and while I did, I listened to Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me. I have some things that I have to do today. I'm gonna go get groceries at some point. I have some food prep to do, and while I do those things, my plan is to listen to the memoir on audiobook, and then whenever I can, read actually on my Kindle. But I will be reading through audiobook or Kindle one way or the other all day. Okay, so I'm 60% done with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm really liking it, to my surprise. I know this is like so highly loved and recommended by people. Fantasy has just never really been my genre, just because the world building seems like overwhelming to me to have to learn. There's definitely a lot of that in this book. I think there's 5 books in the series so far. I think I'm following for the most part. There's definitely some creatures and things that I forget like what they do or what their purpose is, but I think I'm following the plot. There's just been a big development in the story. So far so good. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I think if I keep going, I only have maybe 2.5 hours left. So I'm looking forward to finishing it, and only about an hour left in the Britney Spears book. Hi. So I have an hour and 8 minutes left of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm really enjoying it. Right now I feel like I'm hovering around like a 4.25, which is really good. And I finished The Woman in Me, Britney Spears' memoir, and that was enlightening for sure. I don't think I feel comfortable giving her memoir a star rating just because it's so deeply personal and she was very vulnerable. So I think I'm gonna leave it at it was vulnerable and good to read about. So that's where I'm at. I'm almost exactly at 9.5 hours of reading and going strong, honestly. Like, I feel a little bit of fatigue, but I've been switching off from reading on my Kindle to listen to audiobooks and like getting stuff done around the house. I just went on a walk outside, which was really, really lovely. It's a beautiful day, a little chilly, but gorgeous and sunny. I'll update you in a few hours. right, here's my last update of today. I have read for 13 hours so far. I think I'm still gonna go for maybe another hour or so, and then I'll pick up the rest tomorrow. I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses. I finished Heartstopper Volume 3, which was amazing, and weirdly like 100 pages longer than the first two. I love that series. It is instantly like my comfort read. I'm gonna reread it so many times. I see myself like reading it before bed. It's so wholesome and sweet and I'm obsessed with it. So finished volume 3. Now I'm on to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm hoping to be able to read this by the end of tomorrow, but We'll see. This is my favorite of the Harry Potter books, so I'm really stoked to dive into this one. And I'm about a chapter in, and I'm excited because it's about to start getting really good, because whenever they get to the Dursleys' house, this whole part with like Fred and George and all that, this is not really a spoiler, it's right at the beginning of the book, was cut out of the movie, which is such a bummer because it's like the most hilarious thing to happen in any of the movies or books. But anyways, so excited to read it again, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Good morning. Yesterday was a really great day, and I'm looking forward to today. I'm like 2 hours in to reading today, about 30% done with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and this is my favorite ones, and now they're in their first Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I'll check in with you a little bit later when I have an update. Okay, I'm 67% of the way through with Goblet of Fire. My brain is starting to turn to mush, and I'm not retaining as much as I normally would. I think the time is starting to catch up with me. At this point, I have been reading and not consecutively. Yesterday I read for 13 hours, but I am at nearly 20 hours. So I'm feeling it. I'm tired, my brain is tired, I'm fatigued, though I am still enjoying the book. I'm getting a little loopy, but I'm gonna power through. I got about 4 more hours left, and I got this. Okay, I'm in the home stretch. I have 80% left of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I did take a little break, not for reading, but from Harry Potter. And I just needed to read something else for a minute. So I have also started Ace, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society, and the Meaning of Sex, from Angela Chen. I'm excited to just learn more about asexuality. As someone who's a part of the queer community, it's something that I constantly want to keep educating myself on, different sexualities and identities and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm doing as of now. I'm just getting to the 3rd task now, which is my favorite task. And this task is so much better in the books than in the movies. Like, truly, I don't know why they changed it. It's so much cooler in the books. And reading this book, I'm just reminded of how much darker this book is than previous Harry Potter books. Like, it really is like blowing my mind. It's so different. But I'm liking it because you really dive into the world more, and the history of magic and the history of the dark arts and everything that Harry is facing and has been facing over the past 3-4 years. So I will check in with you when I'm done. I have a little over 2 hours left. Home stretch, okay. Now that I've split it up into 2 different books that I'm reading, like a nonfiction where I'm learning something and Harry Potter, I'm able to digest everything, both books, better. So I think the next 2 hours are gonna be smooth sailing, and my brain is gonna be a little less smushy. That's it. I did it. I read for 24 hours. That was a wild ride. It feels like it took a lot more than 24 hours, to be honest. It was a long 24 hours, but I read some really good books over the past 2 days. I definitely think I will do this again someday. I don't think I'll ever do it for 24 hours straight. I don't know how I would possibly do it. There were times during this 24-hour period that I just felt like I need a break, like I need to go like watch some TV or do something. But I did it. Success. I read 4 books. I read, let's see if I can remember them. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, Heartstopper, The Woman in Me, and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I started and just got to part 2, 25% of the way done through ACE, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society, and the Meaning of SEX. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, I super appreciate you. And if you have, let me know if this is something you would ever do. Have you ever woken up in the morning and just read all day? Because this is a first for me. I've never done anything like this. So I would love to know what your experience is with that. Like, what's the longest stretch you've ever read? Have you done a reading marathon, a reading sprint? Let me know. I'm curious. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.